time to keep this train rolling. What do you say?
Speaking of the beast system, beast system.
Mind control weapons.
Flies.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Lincoln's in the chat. Thank you, Lincoln.
Hey, thanks,
there he
Lincoln.
is. Hi, buddy. Yeah, he said it didn't let him leave a note. I'm always curious. Some people say that they don't have the option to leave a note. I have no idea why that is the case when that happens. But feel free to send us an email if you'd like there, Lincoln.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is interestingengineering.com. This is being shared around. U.S. researchers hack fly brains and control them remotely. It took
that's fine.
It took genetic engineering, nanotechnology, and electrical engineering to achieve this result. It is the trifecta coming together. Genetic, nano, electrical. Here's what it says. A research team consisting of scientists from some of the top institutes in the U.S. have demonstrated a wireless technology that allows neurons in a fly brain to be controlled in less than a second, an institutional press release said. With advances in our understanding of how our brain works, scientists are looking for ways to tap into this functionality to achieve goals that were previously unthinkable. For instance, a research project funded by the National Science Foundation, NSF, and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, aims to develop a headset technology that can not only read the brain's neural activity, but also write it for another individual. Called Magnetic Optical Acoustic Neural Access, MOANA. The program aims to develop a wireless headset that can facilitate brain-to-brain communication in a non-surgical manner. Jacob Robinson, an associate professor at Rice University, is among the researchers working on the project, and his team has developed a method to hack fly brains wirelessly. And it continues. Got any thoughts yet, Basil? Or are you
just a couple things. Wirelessly really is the big thing here. Because we've seen, I think specifically with insects, we've seen updates like this in the past. They did it with roaches and they wore a little backpack or something. You know, they've done this with insects before, but this wireless thing is kind of the big piece of it that I appreciate very much.
There's been different stuff we've seen over the years. They've had, robots where they took like a mouse brain and like put it in the robot and it was like flashing lights and moving around and, learning how to move in space and stuff. But this is sort of the opposite end. Yeah. Let's continue. The research team used genetic engineering to express a special ion channel in flies' neuronal cells, which can be activated using heat. When the ion channel is activated, the flies spread out their wings as they would do as part of their mating gesture. To activate the channel at will, the researchers then injected the experimental flies with nanoparticles that could be heated. That could be heated by applying a magnetic field. The genetically
nanoparticles.
Yeah.
Do they mention what these nanoparticles are? Because we all learned a lot about nanoparticles during the pandemic.
Yeah, funny you ask. I have the Nature study here, the nature.com, the actual research study paper here, sub-second multi-channel magnetic control of select neural circuits in freely moving flies. And it does talk about magnetic nanoparticles. So, I don't know what that means, but they're magnetic. And I got to pay $30 to read the whole thing. So I don't have the $30 on me. But something we can probably do at some point. I really want to dig in. But there you go. Continuing on here. When researchers activated the electric field heated the nanoparticles, which activated the neurons, resulting in the flies spreading their wings, as seen in the short video below. There's a short video. You want to take a look at that, Basil? It's just a fly. With some dots on it. And then... And then at a certain point, it opens its wings.
Flies and dots. Wow.
Yeah.
On command. Very impressive. How did they get the nanoparticles into the brain, you think?
I don't know. They're nano.
Okay.
So it probably just goes everywhere. Analyzing the video.
I'm wondering if they like fed it to them and the nanoparticles found their way there. Did they? Oh, I guess they said they injected it.
They injected, yeah. So maybe just straight to the brain. I don't know. Analyzing the video from the experiments, the researchers also found that the time lapse between the activation of the electromagnetic magnet and the spreading of wings was less than half a second.
Oh my God. Ugh. So fast.
Quote, by bringing together experts in genetic engineering, nanotechnology, and electrical engineering, we were able to put all the pieces together and prove this idea works, said Robinson in a press release. What happens next? Robinson is confident that this ability is to precisely activate cells will be helpful in studying the brain, developing brain communication technology, as well as treating brain-related disorders. The team is focused on developing technology that will help restore vision in people even if their eyes do not work. They aim to achieve this by stimulating parts of the brain that are associated with the vision, with a vision to give a sense of vision in the absence of functional eyes.
A sense of vision? That's interesting.
To get the this is a quote, to get the natural precision of the brain, we probably need to get a response down to a few hundredths of a second. So there is still ways to go, Robinson added.
Well, it's good to have goals.
The long-term goal of this work is to create methods for activating specific regions of the brain in humans.
Yes, I mean, of course.
For therapeutic
the long-term goal is to control humans' brains.
No, therapeutic purposes.
No, it's for controlling our brains, Gons.
No, we're helping people.
We can deliver it.
We're going to make the blind see. Don't you see, Basil, the truth of the
injections?
Control brain machines.
Speaks for itself, man. It speaks for itself.
Which brings me to this whole idea of just genuine concern for you, Basil.
For me?
Yes, for you.
Why for me?
You are already sort of a cybernetic symbiote. Neural nets are taking over from regular programming. So you are connected.
You're already connected, and the building of the metaverse.
I never should have gotten that.
What's that?
I never should have gotten the nanobot injection.
Not
the one you're thinking of, folks.
You don't need it, though. The other
one.
You don't need it because...
Oh, good.
I have this paper from your favorite science research outlet, PNAS.
Ah, yes. PNAS, the acronym nobody should try to say as a word.
Do I play the jingle or do I just let it go and continue on here?
I mean, you kind of have to. I did see some comments, though, that we were getting a little we were walking up to the edge, getting pretty edgy there. And of course, Jonathan F. is the one that's making us so edgy.
And pushing the boundaries, Jonathan F.
He's our edgiest jingle maker.
Yeah. Oh, no, I cannot find it.
It's up to you, man. I mean, you got to do it at least once.
Yeah. What happened to it?
You don't even have it ready.
I thought I had it ready here. Well, okay.
Decides,
let's just
decides for us then. Sorry, Jonathan.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. PNAS. You can imagine what what Basil called it. So anyway, there's an article here from 2016. It's a study, and the title is Magnetite Pollution: Nanoparticles in the Human Brain. And it says here, we identify the abundant presence in the human brain of magnetite nanoparticles that match precisely the high temperature magnetite nanospheres formed by combustion. Because many of the airborne magnetite pollution particles are less than 200 nanometers in diameter, they can enter the brain directly through the olfactory nerve and by crossing the damaged olfactory unit. This discovery is important because nanoscale magnetite can respond to external magnetic fields and is toxic to the brain, being implicated in production of damaging reactive oxygen species. Because
so this is breathe. All you got to do is breathe these suckers in.
Yeah. So
some chemtrails, baby.
That's what I'm saying. Some chemtrails. You breathe it. And you put on these VR headsets, and you told me you got magnets in the headset, the earphone part of the. I mean, I guess speakers would naturally be magnets. But yeah, man, I don't want you to be part of the control mechanism. I'm going to lose you.
Yeah, well, you mean because of the VR headset? You're saying that the magnetite in my chemtrail brain can be controlled with the VR headset?
Yeah, because, the metaverse is upon us. Did you even mention that
part, or did I give it away?
I think you gave it away, but it's okay.
Oh.
There's an outlet called forecast.news, FORKAST.news, and, it's one of these newer kind of hip outlets. It's crypto friendly. But, these guys are acting like prophets over here. They're like, hey, we're going to tell you how it's going to be in the future. And given the story we just read about the flies and the brain control and then showing you that, we already got like nanoparticles in our brain that can probably be controlled by magnetic fields, I think we're ripe for the metaverse here. And the article is, this is what the metaverse will look like in 20 years from now. And I'm not going to read the whole thing here because it's pretty long, but basically it mentions this idea of how we will be wearing a headset acting as an entry point into the metaverse. And which, not unfamiliar to people that are, longtime listeners to the show.
You got to wear the headset to play in the metaverse.
Makes a few points about how it's not just one metaverse, it's going to be a bunch of metaverses. And similar to how countries are set up with each with its very own distinct culture, community, environment, perhaps even language. And so there's going to be diversity there. And then, which again speaks to this weird thing about the Bible with the 10 kings and, having given authority to the 10 kings and then having one mind. It's like this hive mind part of the Bible. That's pretty interesting. And then part of this, all these different metaverses being interoperable. So you can have like a nomad metaverse person, going to different metaverses and exploring.
Planeswalker.
Making some arbitrage moves, and finding some gold and digital gold in one metaverse and selling it in another or something. I don't know.
What a beautiful mind you have.
And then it talks about the headset a little bit more. With a sick pair of wireless headsets, of course, is how you would access the metaverse. Picture Google Glass or Snapchat spectacles. Now think about what those look like now, and then remember what phones used to look like 20 years ago. Given the exponential growth trajectory of all metaverse-related tech, blockchain, VR, AR computers, we are most likely going to get a version of Google Glass or Snapchat spectacles, but on steroids. Small, practical, and filled with technology we can't quite picture yet, at least not completely. This headset will then act as your entry or login into the different sets of metaverses, the way how your house key enables you to, enter your house. It's the key, Basil, the key to the bottomless pit, apparently. And then it gets into NFTs, the corporations, and then it gets into work. And this is where, you're working kind of like
my long-standing theory.
You're kind of in between. Yeah. The very concepts of work and working will be completely flipped come 2040. And it just goes into all the different ways in which how real things in the metaverse will be and how, it'll just be everyday life, how exciting it's going to be. And I'll finish up with this ndtv.com article with the headline, Dubai unveils metaverse strategy, aims to create 40,000 virtual jobs. And they think that it's going to be adding $500 billion to the national economy by the year 2030. It's a good target.
It's so funny because if this whole podcast thing doesn't work out, Gons, if the value for value model decides that we have stopped creating enough value to keep this show going, I can actually put on my resume
hours
that I've been working in. Right. I'll have to calculate the amount of hours that I've actually worked in the metaverse.
You'll get the attention of the robot machines doing all the vetting of all the resumes, because it'll be like, impossible. How is this individual have longer in metaverse than metaverse existence?
I am a great hire for one of these Dubai metaverse jobs, man. I'm telling you, one of these days, if things don't work out, I'm a prime candidate.
Well,
it'll be on my my LinkedIn, my ZipRecruiter profile, my, I don't know what else, my Craigslist ad,
Monster.com. We're dating ourselves.
Monster.com. No, Gons, no.
Well, you're going to have to impress perhaps Omar bin Sultan Al Olama, who's the Minister of State for Artificial Intelligence, Digital Economy, and Remote Work Applications for the UAE, which is, I don't know, where's our guy? Where's our Minister of State for Artificial Intelligence, Digital Economy, and Remote Work Applications?
Dude, we're still trying to figure out if the EPA is allowed to tell us what to do.
So yeah, they just, it's an opportunity for other countries to come in, become the trendsetters for this new economy. And it's all predicated on jacking your brain right into this whole thing. And that's, I'm just saying concerns.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, thank you. Don't worry about me, though.
Well, because they tell us about the flies, they're like, oh, look, we control the flies.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a soft way. You're right. It's a soft way to say we're going to control you. You are as flies to us. Mm-hmm. Rest of human population.
Well, we knew that already.
I know, but
well, it's interesting about Dubai because Dubai is one of these places that is it's built for the rich people. Mm-hmm. And it's entirely staffed by immigrants that they bring in.
They got a bunch of robots too.
Yeah. And then, of course, the robots solving a lot of that issue. So to switch a lot of those jobs over to Metaverse is very on brand for Dubai. And I'm not sure exactly what these types of jobs are, but they could be, as we've discussed for years now, the controlling of robots through virtual reality. 40,000 virtual jobs. Some of that has to be like waiting tables by controlling a flippy.
Well, that's what's going to be crazy. So you're going to meet some guy that lives down the street. It's like, oh, what do you do? It's like, oh, I wait for a restaurant in Dubai.
Yeah.
Like,
that's pretty cool.
Okay. How's that happen?
Just in the sort of if I didn't have the knowledge of like the beast system,
right, that would be impressive.
The lizard people enslaving us through these technologies. It'd be cool to be like, yeah, I live off the grid. I have some emus and I'm a maitre d' in Dubai through virtual reality.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's my big concern for you and your health and your brain as you expose yourself to nanoparticles and magnets that can potentially control your mating call.
It's really nice to know that you care, Gons. There's still people who don't really realize that we're friends. Like they think we're kind of just coworkers, and they send us an email about how it's really unprofessional for us to like make fun of each other. Specifically me making fun of you and how I should be nicer to you because, this is a hostile work environment sometimes.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
but yeah, it's nice to know that you care. We're good. We had a very sweet moment before the show, Gons. For us, it was a very sweet moment.
Was it?
And I'm very grateful for it. Yeah, well, see, it even went by so quickly that Gons didn't even notice. We were like, you were like, episode 512. 512 of these, huh? Yeah. Well, thanks for not killing me. And he said, the feeling's mutual.
That's what
and then we shared a silent hug.
We did. We did.
We were emotionally supporting each other.
Thanks for not murdering me for all this time. There's 512 episodes of the show.
It was very sweet. Very sweet moment.
Yeah.